All right, this is your solving equations. We're talking about add, subtract, multiply, and divide homework assignment. And this is just going to be me going over each one. So I'm going to go kind of quick so that the video doesn't take forever. And feel free to pause and go back and all that, just like usual. All right, so some of these are going to be pretty simple. So the first couple, I want to get z by itself. This is a multiplication problem, so I'm going to do the inverse, which is divide by 5. Whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. 65 divided 5 is 13. Z equals 13. Not too bad. Second one is very similar. I want to get y by itself, so I do the inverse of multiplication, which is division to both sides. Those ones pretty basic. Number 3 is a subtraction problem. Now remember that when the variable comes second, like it does here, we can always just switch. Whoops. We can always just switch the variable with the answer. So we can switch these two guys. So really, I've got 42 minus g. Whoops. That's what we had in the first place. I've got 42 minus 29 equals g. So now it's simply a subtraction problem. 42 minus 29 is 13. There we go. So why did we switch those? We switched them because there was a variable that came second. So if you're subtracting or if you're dividing, the variable comes second, you can switch them. So I'm going to skip to number 5 because I want you to see that exact example. So first of all, number 5, you could do it like this if you'd like. Some kids don't like how that looks and they'd rather do h minus 11 is 56. That's okay. I'll show you both ways. We are not going to switch these two. The variable doesn't come second. So you don't need to switch these two. Okay? All I need to do to get h by itself is the inverse of subtract 11, which is add 11. That will get rid of it. I got my h's where I want them. Since I added 11 there, I add 11 here. 56 and 11 is 67. So either way you like that one is fine. So notice the difference between number 5 and number 3. So I like it written this way myself. So we had subtract and 11. So we can solve this by adding 11. We can get h by itself. Here we couldn't because it's minus a g. We got to get the g by itself, so we switch the g with the answer in this case. All right, number 2, excuse me. This is a division problem, so it's really m over 6 equals 12. If you like that better, that's fine. To solve this, to get m by itself, I can do the inverse of division, which is multiplication. So I'm going to multiply by 6. That gets me m by itself. I'm going to multiply by 6 over here. 12 times 6, 6 times 10. I'm breaking it up in my head. 6 times 10 is 60. 6 times 2 is 12. 60 and 12, 72. Number 7, nothing to it. So we're adding 500. We want to get n by itself, so we subtract 500. Whatever you do to one side, do to the other. 600 minus 500 is 100. Remember, you can always, with any algebra ever, n equals 100, I can always substitute that back in here. 100 plus 500, does that equal 600? Yes, it does. That means I am correct. Okay, number 8. I can't divide by this d here. I don't know what to do with it. The d comes second. So if you're not sure, it looks like this. So number 8 and number 3 share something here. It's either subtraction or division, and the variable comes second. So I'm not sure what to do with that. So I can switch those if I'm not sure what to do with that. So what do I have here? I have d equals 24 over 4. I bet we can handle that. Or over here, I have 24 divided 4 equals d. Now the variables are by themselves. So we have d equals 6, or here 6 equals d. They mean the same thing. And number 9, a little more difficult. The 6 and the f are smushed. So to get the f by itself, that's what we want. We divide by 6. So if we divide by 6 there, we got to divide by 6 over here. Remember, you can always put 6 over 1. Anytime you have a whole number, you can always put it over 1. Dividing fractions, we rewrite the first one, do the reciprocal or the multiplicative inverse of the second one, and we do the inverse operation. So the inverse of division is to multiply. Can you simplify here? 2 goes into itself once and into 6 3 times. multiply numerators, and multiply denominators, 1/9 it is. So that is for 1 through 9, and I couldn't fit the rest on the page, so we're going to go to a new page. So we've done 7, 8, 9 we just did, so we're going to do 10, 11, and 12. So number 10, it's a multiplication problem again. I want to get the b by itself, so I divide. That's the inverse of what you see there, which was multiplication. Since I divided by 8 there, I'm going to divide by 8 over here. Now this looks a little strange because now, here's what you have to think about. I'm going to erase that because I don't want you to be confused. I've got to do divide by 8. I've got to do 4/5 divide by 8. The order is super important. Remember, order doesn't matter when you're adding or when you're multiplying, but we're dividing here. Order is super, super, super important. So I keep that first number. I do the reciprocal or the multiplicative inverse of 1/8 and the inverse of division, like so. I can simplify by saying 4 goes into itself once, 4 goes into 8 twice. Multiply numerators and get uno, and denominators and get 10, 1/10 for b. 1/10. Number 11, we're subtracting a variable, and number 12, we're dividing by a variable. So this example, the variable comes second. And remember, that's when we're dealing with either subtraction or division. So when the variable comes second, this is where we can switch. So I can switch these two guys, 900 minus 400 equals E. Or over here, I can switch these guys, 600 divide 12 equals S. Remember, you can say not 600, 6. You can also say it that way. So 900 minus 400, super easy. 500 equals E. And 60 divided 12, 5 equals S. So that was your algebra, solving equations, add, subtract, multiply, divide homework video.